Hey, I want to tell you about my yesterday, but I want to lead it off with a Bible verse. It'll make sense after I keep going on with the events. It says that we should be as wise as a serpent, as gentle as a dove. So, my son and my daughters, they get really bad seasonal allergies, like really, really bad. And I normally have like holistic way of things. I normally have tea and honey, and I try to do it that way. But if I'm not, if they're autoimmune, their immunities can't fight it off itself, then of course I have to enlist a doctor, right? Okay. So then now my son, who has the same thing, he doesn't have it as bad as my youngest one, but they still have the same type of makeup. So he's really sick for 3 days, really sick. And he's coughing, congested. I mean, he's like snot all over, all jacked up. So I say, oh, we have to go. So we do an emergency doctor visit. Now, my car is on flat. The tires all jacked up. How did this happen? Who knows? I don't know. So I can't get there. Got to call a transportation company. So I call. The driver arrives and they're really cool. I'm having a small little conversation with her and I'm giving her a compliment because I want her to know you can look a certain kind of way on this picture, but you can be completely different once you get in that car. So I'm making her be comfortable. I'm being comfortable. You hear all the news and you don't know who you're getting in the car with. So I like to gauge conversation and kind of get a feel for who I'm in a car with. So this is great. She's lovely. She's nice. She's kind. No worries here. So she's like, she has dress. So I'm like giving her a compliment about the dress to open up the welcoming conversation. I'm telling her like, hey, my son had dress. He was growing it out. He did his whole thing when he did soccer, and all the kids on a soccer team had their dress, and they would make these goals, and they would have their whole goal and have this whole dance routine, and their hair is like doing its own little entertainment thing, and when they did their little run the field and stuff and get the goal, they would do this whole little dance thing, which was really cute, way more entertaining than actually them trying to get the ball inside of the doggone net. So we're having a little conversation, we're engaging. She get a vibe for me, I get a vibe for her. She's just a normal person just doing her business, right? So in this way we end up getting stuck with construction and her route gets redirected, and she's going the longest way, and I'm like, oh, this is a long way, but I'm keeping it to myself, we're gonna get there, right? So then she says she has a phone call. She doesn't even say, hey, 1 second. She's just answering the phone call. And you can hear the conversation on the end. And she says, well, I don't really know. It's confusing. I'm they don't have this stuff together. $5 a gallon. And it's so much. And how are we going to figure it out? And the passengers must be paying so much for the ride. And then I'm in my head, that's not, I don't think. And then I'll tell you, I'll go back to that. And then she's like, I don't really understand. This is a lot of money. She gets off the phone. And I tell her, my ride was only $12. Whereas other people, they give the option of $12, $26, $34, or $36 for an SUV. You, in my mind, charge $12. I say, is there a way that you could shorten up the route? Is it destined that you have to go the route that is calculated, or can you kind of figure out a way that is shorter, because you could have went a different way? You didn't have to go this way. It would have been less money. Now, I didn't know anything about how much it was per gallon, or how many miles a gallon that she had drove to get me from point A to point B. I didn't know. So I told her, that's okay. I'll make sure I give a nice tip. The tips were 2, 3, and 5. This isn't touching anything in my mind. They have a custom. So custom, I give her 11. The trip was only 12. In my mind is that those other cars are automatically charging $26. This isn't too much. It's a no-brainer to me. So then I get out of the doctor's office. My son gets his antibiotics. We're good. I'll take care of him. And I'm grateful because, once again, I didn't have a vehicle to get him there. And I'm being grateful because this is something that I needed to take care of. And this lady decides to have a business, and this is her business to help. And, I'm going to support it, right? Okay. Because I need it. It's got to be supported. And I'm going to tell her that I appreciate her, So then I get home, and I'm just trying to figure it out. If I had point A, where you were, to point B, where I am, to point C, how much would have cost, what the miles would have been, and then with this specific type of car. So it wound up saying that for me to get to my destination, it would have, from her destination to my destination to the location, the ending location, would have only cost $2. So therefore, I definitely gave her a really great tip. Really honestly, I didn't feel any remorse, anything like that. I kind of felt like she's discouraged, maybe I don't want to do this anymore. It's not the one or the two. I don't understand why in the world am I spending this much money and I'm not gonna break even, or I'm gonna actually lose out. Keeping in mind maintenance and insurance and all that little stuff, right? But in actuality, she actually was benefiting. Okay. So I could have went here and saying, oh, that whole conversation could have been slick or sneaky, and she just was trying to get her hustle and try to say, hey, if I say this little thing, then maybe I'll make more money, or somebody to give me a better tip, or give me a tip at all, Or I can say she just really didn't know. So I'm saying to this, there is a Bible verse, Proverbs 4:7, to be wise, to have wisdom and understanding in everything you do. What's a learning lesson for me? Be careful about me giving this huge. Ask more questions. Be more aware. Don't just move without being cautious. So that I respected and appreciated her ethics and her business, and I was able to take care of my kid. So that is that. And I guess until next time.
My life is in the hands of the potter. Take me as your clay, I surrender to you. Whether in the water or fire, purify my heart. I will be a temple, the dwelling place where you are. I'm honored to be chosen and called into your purpose. I will be still and know that you're with me.